In the June of 1999, Mike Oliver was graduating high school. He had aspirations to go to college, but he could not afford it, so he did what many Americans before him have done. He joined the military. By the year 2000, he was serving in active duty for the United States Army, and also in the year 2000, the presidential election between George Bush and Al Gore was taking place. As a member of the Army, he felt the need to vote, but he didn't really care about who he voted for. So he went to the voting station and he went eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and it landed on George Bush. So little did he know that George Bush would end up winning the election. And so after the attacks on September 11, Mike Oliver was one of the first to go to Iraq because he was on active duty. After 6 months had passed, all that patriotic urgency that everybody in the country was feeling was starting to fade away from him. He didn't want to be there anymore. He didn't know why they went there in the first place, and he started to question it. About 3 weeks before Oliver was set to return to the United States, an enemy grenade landed 10 feet from him and hurt his leg, and now he's in a wheelchair. So when he made the decision to vote for George Bush, he put no thought into it. He voted for him, he won, and that same man sent him to another country to fight a war that he did not fully support, and then his life got 10 times more difficult because he hurt his leg. I believe Mike is like most of us. We probably would have done the same thing, because according to Mary Cooper, a writer of Congressional Quarterly in 2010, she stated that 18 to 25-year-olds are the largest group of non-voters. Only 17% of us actually go out to vote. But there are many groups out there that try to help us to vote. On MTV, a popular group is called Rock the Vote. They try to get the youth, specifically college students, to go out and vote, to go out and educate themselves. But the reason why these groups exist is because people who are aware of what's going on around them, they are benefiting from it. They have an advantage over those who don't understand what's going on. They know who's in charge, they know what policies are being passed, and they know how those policies are going to directly affect them and hurt them. And they also have time to plan accordingly, because policies don't get passed instantly. They get voted on, and that process takes several weeks, sometimes months. So we can be those educated people. In this speech, I will teach you how to become more politically knowledgeable. First, I will explain the situation that college students face. Then I will show you how to obtain legitimate information. And finally, I will make you aware of a few things that you shouldn't do when choosing a candidate. First off, according to Naomi Richards, a writer for Social Science Quarterly in 2008, she stated that college students are in the most unique political environment because we are all in colleges that are very diverse in ethnic groups. Just in this classroom, there's a lot of ethnic groups and different types of people, and it's hard to express oneself's opinions openly because we all have the fear of offending other people. Not only that, but in our very own households, we don't speak of politics. We hardly ever even talk about them. So as educated people, we must take a stand on various societal issues that affect us today. We must take a stand, and we must not be in the middle. Once you have taken a side and know where you stand on economy, jobs, healthcare, education, foreign policy, one can begin to inform oneself even more. Okay. Now that you understand why we are a very unique group, it's time to look at how to obtain good information. A very good way of informing oneself is to look up a politician in a database. A database will give you a list of public records. You will learn where candidates have supported bills previously and what bills they have opposed. and then you can compare to what they say today, whether they have flip-flopped and switched opinions. Another good way of obtaining information is to watch political debates. Some people might think political debates are boring, but actually you can learn a lot from them because you learn what politicians, how they react to attacks by other politicians and how they defend their stances. And politically knowledgeable people watch debates and they perceive a character of every candidate up there. They see how they react to other people, and then that information further helps them to decide who they're voting for. But another great way of obtaining information is to visit a politician's website. You can learn a lot from a politician's website, and in order to find them, it's not difficult. You just simply Google search their name, and they should look something like this once you're there. You will know you're there once you see an image of a candidate, an inspiring quote next to it, and that big red button on the top right that says donate. Because every politician wants your money, but it's not necessarily important to donate to them if you don't want to. But the important part of every website is the issue section, as you can see in the top. In the issue section, you will find a list of salient issues and a written statement that every politician has to say about that issue, such as the economy. You can read and inform yourself on that politician's solution to try to fix the economy. There's many issues, and a politically knowledgeable person would read all the information, they would digest the information, and then they would compare it to their own beliefs, because they know where they stand and they know whether they agree with politicians or not. So now that you know how to obtain legitimate information, it's important to be aware of things that should not guide you in your help in choosing a president. Well, according to Jolie O'Neill, a writer for Mashable.com, over 65% of people obtain their information from the television. As our society is progressing, we are becoming more and more paperless, and watching television is very easy, and it takes little effort to inform oneself. But it's important to realize that some television networks have a political agenda of their own. They are trying to subliminally affect your decision. For example, Fox News has known to be extremely Republican, and they're very conservative. So if you go to Fox News for information, they're usually going to try to sway you towards the right. Another thing one should be aware of is not to vote for the image of a president. According to Professor Nahi Daji, a professor here at Fullerton College, he states that the average American votes for image and not substance. And politically knowledgeable people could care less about what a president looks like. They should care about what they have to say and whether their promises fit their needs. So in this speech, I taught you how to become more politically knowledgeable. First, I explained the unique situation that every single one of us faces by being a college student. Then I showed you how to obtain legitimate information. And finally, I made you aware of some things that shouldn't guide your decision when choosing a candidate. So next time, when you're at a voting station, eeny, meeny, miny, moe won't be your only tool. You will have, after listening to me, you will have a whole arsenal of information that will help you in your decision. Thank you.